September 26, 1983. Deep beneath Moscow, in a secret bunker, Stanislav Petrov sits before a glowing screen. The world is tense. Two superpowers, the US and the Soviet Union, are locked in a nuclear standoff. Thousands of warheads are aimed, ready to launch at a moment's notice. This bunker, Serpukhov 15, is the nerve center of the Soviet early warning system. Its job to detect American missile launches and trigger a response. Suddenly, alarms blare, red lights flash, the screen reads "Launch!" The system reports a US missile is inbound. Petrov's training is clear. Report immediately, trigger the chain of command and possibly unleash nuclear retaliation. The protocol is rigid, there's no time for doubt. The fate of millions hangs on Petrov's next move. The system shows one missile, then two, then five. The tension in the bunker is suffocating. Petrov is the commander on duty. His word could mean the end of civilization. Outside, the world sleeps, unaware of the danger. In this concrete tomb, a countdown to annihilation has begun. The system screams, attack, underway. Every rule tells Petrov to act. He must pick up the phone and confirm the strike. The pressure is immense. The fate of billions rests on his decision. In this moment, the cold logic of machines faces the uncertain wisdom of a single human. The world holds its breath, not even knowing it's in peril. Petrov stares at the screen, his mind racing. The men and women in the bunker look to him for guidance. He is the gatekeeper between a computer's warning and a potential nuclear holocaust. The weight of this responsibility is almost unimaginable, and the world's future hangs by a thread. Who was Stanislav Petrov? Not a general, but a lieutenant colonel, an engineer, a man of logic. He understood the systems he oversaw, and he knew their flaws. Born in 1939, he grew up in a nation scarred by war. He was a husband, a father, and a quiet thinker. On this night he wasn't even supposed to be on duty. A twist of fate put him in the commander's chair. Petrov's technical background set him apart. He knew the Oko satellite system's strengths and its weaknesses. He was not just a soldier following orders, but a scientist who questioned his instruments. His job, monitor data from satellites designed to spot missile launches. The system was new, and Petrov had seen it fail before. He knew it wasn't perfect. This knowledge would soon be crucial. Petrov was not seeking glory, just doing his job, but tonight, his job meant holding the fate of the world in his hands. He was the gatekeeper between a computer's warning and a nuclear holocaust. He understood that technology, no matter how advanced, is fallible. And like humans, it can make mistakes. This simple truth would guide his extraordinary decision. In a world built on rigid protocol, Petrov's reason would be the difference. His unique perspective would soon save us all. To grasp the gravity of that night, remember the world of 1983. The Cold War's shadow loomed. US and Soviet arsenals bristled with nuclear weapons. Mutually assured destruction was the policy. Any attack meant total annihilation. Tensions were at a peak. Hostile rhetoric, military posturing, and recent tragedies like the downing of Korean Airlines Flight 007. Paranoia ran high. Both sides were on hair-trigger alert. Systems were designed for instant response, no room for hesitation. One mistake, one miscalculation, could end civilization. Billions of lives and the planet's future hung in the balance. A nuclear war would mean global catastrophe, nuclear winter, famine. This was the world Petrov inhabited, a world where a single error could end everything. The fate of life on Earth was hostage to fear and technology. In the bunker, alarms blared, 5 missiles detected, all from one US base. The computer confirmed the threat, launch. Protocol demanded Petrov report an incoming strike. One phone call could trigger Armageddon, but Petrov hesitated. Something felt wrong. He knew a real US first strike would involve hundreds of missiles, not 5. Why just 5? It made no sense. He checked the ground-based radar. Nothing. Only the new, untested satellite system showed danger. Should he trust the machine or his own intuition? The men under his command watched, terrified. If he followed protocol, the world could end. If he hesitated and was wrong, his country could be destroyed. The weight of this choice was crushing. Petrov stood alone, caught between duty and humanity. In that moment, Petrov made his choice. He trusted his judgment, not the machine. He reported a system malfunction, not an attack. If he was wrong, the Soviet Union would be defenseless. If he was right, he would prevent a nuclear war. He waited. Minutes felt like hours. No explosion, missiles. The world remained intact. Petrov's gamble had paid off. His calm leadership kept panic at bay. He told his team to treat it as a system error. His steady hand prevented disaster from spreading up the chain of command. In a system built for automatic response, his pause, his doubt, saved the world. He introduced the one thing the system couldn't account for: human judgment. Petrov's humanity triumphed over the cold logic of machines. The world never knew how close it came to destruction. One man's reason had averted catastrophe. After the crisis, an investigation revealed the truth. No missiles had been launched. The alarm was triggered by sunlight reflecting off clouds, misread by the satellite sensors. The computer did exactly what it was programmed to do, but it was wrong. Petrov's actions had averted disaster. Instead of being celebrated, he was reprimanded. His superiors were embarrassed by the system's failure. Petrov was questioned. His career quietly ended. For years, his story was hidden, classified by the Soviet government. He lived in obscurity, haunted by what could have happened. He never saw himself as a hero, just a man doing his job. Only after the Soviet Union's collapse did the world learn his story. Journalists found him living quietly near Moscow. He received international recognition, but remained humble. To him, it was just a night's work. The world finally understood the scale of his courage. Petrov's quiet act had saved humanity. His legacy was sealed in silence and humility. Stanislav Petrov's story is more than Cold War drama. It's a lesson for our age. We trust technology, but it's not infallible. Petrov's actions remind us of the need for human oversight and critical thinking. In a moment of crisis, it was a person, not a machine, who saved the world. His courage was not in battle, but in pausing, questioning, and defying protocol for the greater good. Today we face new threats: nuclear, digital, and beyond. Petrov's story teaches us never to surrender judgment to machines. We must always leave room for human wisdom and doubt. The man who saved the world was ordinary, thrust into the extraordinary. His calm changed history. Stanislav Petrov's legacy is a reminder. Sometimes the most heroic act is to stop and think. He gave humanity a future it might not have had. For that, he deserves our deepest gratitude.